Hey, it's Reagan Fowdy. Welcome to the 33 Revolutions podcast. If you're just joining us for the first time, especially welcome. This is our second episode and the first of a little mini series we're going to start here on the 33 Revolutions podcast. We're going to be starting a Yacht Rock and Beyond campaign here where we'll be talking all things soft rock. If you joined us for the last podcast, you'll know we talked a lot about the band Styx. That was the main topic of the last video. But today we're going to move to something a little bit smoother. Rather than come sail away, we're going to board the proverbial yacht. That's right, yacht rock. It seems like yacht rock really got popular again right after COVID. The term yacht rock itself has only been around since 2005, and even since then, you wouldn't hear that term a lot. But in recent years, it's really taken off. The music's always been there, or for 40, almost 50 years, some of it, coming up on that. A long, long time, but it's stood the test of time overall. It's the music you hear when you go into grocery stores, get in elevators. You'll hear it when you turn on the radio in your car, especially if you have Sirius XM. Channel 15 right now for the summer is Yacht Rock exclusively. They throw in some other songs from different genres in there, just probably trying to expand their audience a little bit, or I really don't know what the whole deal is there. It used to be all like the music that's purely considered yacht rock, but they've added a couple other artists recently, and I don't know. For the yacht rock purists out there, it's not pure 100% yacht rock all of the time, unfortunately, but there are plenty of other good artists that they play on the yacht rock station. That particular radio station on Sirius XM actually introduced me to a lot of the music that I like today. Even bands that didn't necessarily have a lot of yacht rock success, but definitely had success overall. For instance, one of my favorite bands of all time is the band America. The three main members of America, or the guys that you saw on the album covers anyway, Dewey Bunnell, Dan Peek, and Jerry Beckley. Of course, America. A lot of cool history behind that band. Because their dads were all stationed over in the London area, the three of them went to high school over there and ended up getting exposed to a lot of good music, getting to go to good concerts, and even led to them creating music and releasing it before coming back to the States. And they got big in the early 70s, obviously. The number one hit that everybody knows, whether you like it or not. I'm personally a fan of it, but A Horse with No Name. And of course, the top 10 hit, I Need You, beautiful song. But with all that being said, America is not yacht rock. I love their music, but it's in the soft rock, folk rock, even a little bit of pop rock genre, but it's not true yacht rock. If you check the Yachtsky scale, which will let you know what songs or artists are yacht or nyat, America does have a couple songs in the upper 60s, the scale ranging from 0 to 100. Their highest song gets about that yellowish green color. America's highest ranking yacht rock song is 66.75, that being You Could Have Been the One, a song from their 1980 album Alibi. A good song, but not one of their big hits. Their next closest song is down in the yellowish orange on the scale at 43.25. A song from their 1982 album View from the Ground also featured You Can Do Magic, which gets a score of 38. America kind of changed their music style there in the 80s. After Dan Peek left in 1977, America shifted a little bit and kind of opted for a little bit of a different sound. I still like quite a few songs in the post-Peek era. Obviously, there's no arguing during the Dan Peek era of America was when a lot of their hits came. They still created some good music after his departure and found some success in the early 80s, but after that, not a lot. Now, when checking the Essential tab on the Yachtsky scale, you'll see tracks that are the epitome of yacht rock. You'll see the artists who defined the genre decades before it even had a proper name. Of course, up at the top with a whopping 100% yacht rock being the Doobie Brothers' What a Fool Believes. That, of course, features Michael McDonald on lead vocals, and with the unforgettable piano at the beginning there, it has that bounce to it. Just a great song that's actually Kenny Loggins released before the Doobie Brothers did, and he did not find near as much success as Michael and the Doobie Brothers had. Speaking of Kenny Loggins, he is next on the scale with a song that ranks at 99.625% on the scale, that being Heart to Heart. Then Michael McDonald again with I Keep Forgetting, his 1982 solo work. Then Kenny Loggins again with This Is It, another great song. Love that song. Then you have artists like Airplay, Toto, even Michael Jackson with his hit Human Nature. And Christopher Cross, another important artist to the genre. And you got guys like Boz Scaggs, George Benson, Robbie Dupree, Steely Dan. I know that's arguable to various people, saying Steely Dan isn't yacht rock, but it really fits that polished sound. I know it's jazz rock, but it really fits into this genre nicely. I know that's debatable. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Steely Dan yacht rock? I mean, it's right here on the chart, so kind of hard to argue with the charts here. Let me know what you guys think, personal preference wise. What's your opinion on Steely Dan and the yacht rock family or not? So, like I mentioned earlier, yacht rock was a phrase coined in the early 2000s, 2005 to be exact. It derives from an LA based comedy web series that was titled Yacht Rock, basically depicting a fictional world where all the guys who created the super polished soft rock, adult contemporary hits kind of just hung out together, lounged around, went out on yachts, and were big rivals. I know a lot of these guys were competing back in the day, but a decent amount of them helped out each other as far as being credited on each other's albums. One of the biggest examples being Michael McDonald. He sang a lot of background for a lot of artists like Ambrosia, Kenny Loggins, Christopher Cross, Steely Dan. The list goes on. That man is all over this genre. If you listen to the Yacht Rock channel on SiriusXM, you're just about guaranteed to hear Michael McDonald every 3 to 5 songs, no doubt. And key characteristics of Yacht Rock uh, being that super polished, what they call West Coast sound. A lot of artists were recording out around the Los Angeles area and creating this really polished soft rock that really started to take off there in the late 70s and on through the early 80s. Steely Dan actually brought some East Coast representation to the genre by recording in the New York area, but they eventually moved out to the West Coast to record, and it didn't affect them at all. And they continued to record good stuff out in the West Coast. A lot of yacht rock songs include electric piano or saxophones and really polished guitar solos. Not like something you would hear from most hair bands, no disrespect. And the lyrics are sometimes sad if you really break them down, but overall the feel of the songs are usually pretty positive or trying to be optimistic and bring hope to their situation. I believe that's why a lot of people connect with yacht rock. It just makes you feel good. It may make you nostalgic for the times when you first heard these songs coming up on the radio, or in my case, kind of makes you nostalgic for a time you didn't live through. So it is a little difficult to try to gauge what it was like to hear this music when it was first coming out. But I do read lots of articles, listen to different interviews from people who wrote the music and lived through the time period. And I certainly can't deny looking through the charts, seeing how well this music did commercially and how it completely took over radio stations and adult contemporary stations. And if you didn't like this style of music, you're kind of out of luck. At least until about the mid 80s, hair bands took over and nobody really wanted to hear yacht rock anymore. Artists like Kenny Loggins had other projects like doing some soundtrack songs for movies and things like Footloose and Top Gun, and he did pretty well there. Various artists just kind of went toward soundtracks and things like that as the genre began to die out. Just like disco came to an end, even though I don't remember hearing about any baseball promotions about Yacht Rock Demolition Night. Not to say it didn't happen, but it must not have been popular if they did have it. Okay, maybe it didn't quite go out like disco in such an aggressive manner, but it definitely did fall off. The artists were still recording, still playing. There just wasn't as much commercial excitement around the genre. The radio stations weren't going to push what people didn't want to hear, especially if they were so tired of hearing this style of music. DJs probably wanted a break. But ultimately, after that comedy series came out, it kind of gained a cult following, and people started using the yacht rock term. Then in more recent years, it's just gotten really popular again. There are plenty of various yacht rock cover bands nowadays that do lots of fantastic shows covering some of the golden hits of the era, like Toto's Africa, Rosanna, Hold the Line, Doobie Brothers, Michael McDonald, Christopher Cross, Boz Scaggs, all of those artists and their hits. Yacht rock has really come around again. Is it here to stay? I don't know, but I think it's left an impression on people who will continue to listen to the music throughout their lives. I believe there are certain people in younger generations, such as myself, who will continue to listen to this music and keep it alive for the next generation. There's plenty of physical media around, plenty of vinyl, CDs, cassettes. Now, some of those things are getting pretty expensive nowadays as it's become more popular, but physical media still around. They're making reprints of some of the albums now. Just a lot of stuff's going on. A lot of positive things. Record stores are doing a lot more business, but the higher demand causes higher prices. But you can still find plenty of good deals on used records. That's kind of what I like to do, dig through the record bins and find the cleanest copies of albums that I can. I mean, yacht rock has survived. It went into hiding for a little while, but it has certainly come back. Like I mentioned, I don't know if it'll stay or not, but I think that's up to the fans of yacht rock to keep it alive. If you want to keep it alive, keep talking about it, keep posting about it. Not obsessively or obnoxiously or anything like that, but I mean, making somebody love the genre isn't going to work. They kind of have to discover it for themselves, love it for themselves, and enjoy it. There's so much content out there that is yacht rock. I'm sure there's a song for everybody out there. The gimmick of yacht rock itself is a little bit cheesy, but also it's kind of fun, and there's no harm in a little bit of fun. I've personally never been on a yacht. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But anyway, if you haven't heard of yacht rock, or maybe if you vaguely heard the term, maybe now you understand a little more of what to look out for. Maybe you have a better idea of who are the renowned artists of the genre. This is just a little bit of a brief overview. This is the first episode of a little series I'm going to do here on yacht rock and soft rock in general. Maybe for the next episode, I'll spotlight a particular artist and go more in depth on a couple albums and their discography or something like that. This is a very brief introductory episode, getting you ready for what's to come, covering some yacht rock, some soft rock. Kind of jumping all over the place here, but like I said, I think we'll end up spotlighting a couple other artists in particular and maybe go a little more in depth on just a couple artists for the next episode here. So be on the lookout for that. Thanks again for listening to the 33 Revolutions podcast. I'm Reagan Fowdy and hope to see you back here for the next installment of Yacht Rock and Beyond.